Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to learn about yoga today. We're going to learn about Reiki today. And these are things that are going to make you feel better, make you healthier, both spiritually and physically. And Kendall Knight joins us again. She's with homeyogaandfitness.com. How are you doing, Kendall?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to have you back. It's been a couple of weeks. We took a little break and then we jumped back into it. So before we even get into Reiki, which is something relatively new in your business that you guys are offering, why don't we talk about all the services that you guys do now?
Okay, so right now we have yoga classes, yin yoga classes, which I talked about in my first podcast, power flow yoga classes. We're doing a spin camp class where it's 45 minutes. So we're on the spin bikes for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then from there we move and we're doing light weights, TRX bands, resistance bands. We use the stall bars, which you can kind of see over there, for the remainder of the class. So just really low weight if we're using the dumbbells or the barbells, and super high reps. So we're just burning a lot of calories. We also are doing personal training out of this space. I'm sitting in this space right now at Home Yoga. And so we offer nutritional plans as well for people, massage in here as well. I have another person, Precision Bodyworks, that's in here doing massage, and then I'm doing the Reiki out of here. We're also, I just started doing, it's called a chakra balancing Reiki session, and it's pretty cool. Really excited about this Eastern holistic medicine that I'm able to offer out of this space. Yeah, you name it, we can kind of just help you as best we can. We do Thai massage out of here as well. The bars are up above me, so somebody can walk on your back as well. Yeah, we just have a gamut of things to offer to help anybody just trying to reach their fitness goals, or their health goals, maybe would be a better term to put on it.
So before we get into some of the things specifically like Reiki and chakra, how long should you work out for? Because I struggle with this. I go to the gym, I'll do cardio first, then I'll do weights, and I'm wondering, am I devoting enough time? My cardio, you hear, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Anything that stands out for you in terms of a rule?
So, it's really interesting for me is I really have a basis of like, any movement is good movement. So if you're getting any type of movement in through your day, that's incredibly beneficial for your health and wellness. A huge part of it is our nutrition and what we're putting into our mouths. So we want to keep our hearts healthy. We want to move that cardiovascular, lifting weights, building muscles so that we have strong bones as well. But a lot of it has to do with the nutrition. And that's a big thing that we do here for people, is helping them figure out what it really should be going into your mouth. And hey, let's, we all have cheat days and we all like to have some fun, but really kind of that 80-20%, like 80% what good are you doing, and then maybe 20% cheating and stuff like that. So I think that if you're going to the gym, you're walking, because not everybody can afford a gym membership either, right? Mm-hmm. So even if you're going outside and just being with nature is so beautiful as well, because it can ground your body. You can kind of sync it with your breath. Maybe take your shoes off and put it in the dirt a little bit. But just really getting any type of movement, even if you're sitting, when you have a desk job, taking a moment to even just roll your shoulders back a little bit, having a little bit of breath work. So I think the thing is when we start putting times, it's good to have goals and intentions. Yes. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more with the full moon later on in the podcast. But it's great to have goals, but sometimes our goals can start becoming like restricted to us, right? Or like we get obsessive compulsive about them. And I'm definitely one of these people that has to do a check-in on that. Like, okay, do I have to get my 3-mile walk in today? Or can I take a little bit of a break and maybe try a different modality of fitness that'll work for me today? Because this isn't going to work for me in my head, what I thought. So again, just coming back, any movement is good movement. So just if you can put a little bit of time for yourself, that self-care every day, I think is the most important.
I'm going to jump in and just share one thing quick and then we move on. But this just came out, brand new study that, the whole 10,000 steps, got to get the 10,000 steps in. They found after a study, extensive research, that you only need to do like 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day. And the benefit is a 54% chance of living much longer. 54%, and now less steps. So get them in. Why wouldn't you? You know?
No, totally. Yeah. And I think it's just so important for people. And it depends where you're living too. If you're living somewhere where, like, we're lucky in Houston right now, it's pretty much nice. Okay, we might have a few cold days, but really put a coat and a toque on. Um, and get outside, get some fresh air. I think that is just so important for people's health, like, and wellness all around.
Yep. Yep. You just feel better. By the way, I just have to point out, you said put a coat and
I said toque.
because you're originally from
Yeah,
Canada.
because I'm Canadian. Yes. Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of the people that'll come new to my classes, I just had a new lady earlier this week, and she goes, at the end, she's like, "Where are you from?" I said, "Oh, I'm from Canada." And she's like, "Oh, okay," because you said some funny things in class. And a lot of my students that have been with me for, like, since I moved here from Canada, they call them Canadianisms.
Ah, yes. And it's funny, I haven't heard the word toque, which is that a hat?
Yeah, and actually after I said it, I thought, oh my gosh, I should have said beanie, because everyone would be like, "What?" Yeah, it's a
Did she
toque
say
is a beanie.
did she say toque? No, she said toque.
Yeah.
And by the way, just that's a complete digression, but there was a song that came out in the 80s, I think Bob and Doug or something like that, and it's a holiday song, the 12
Yes.
years of
I know.
Christmas, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and they sound that super Canadian accents.
Super Canadian, and they say toque and they repeat it. It's like the 12 days of Christmas, and one of the, as they change the lyrics, toque is included in there. So that's how I learned about that's my toque. I learned about my toque there.
Yeah, now you know when
now
a
I know.
Canadian says toque, le toque, you
Le
know
toque.
what it is.
Got it. All right. So Reiki, this is something that you recently jumped deep into and you're offering. Tell us more about the energy transfer and all of it.
So I took my Reiki level 1 last year with Lily, and she's out of the Comox Valley in Canada. She was able to offer me this beautiful course, and it was via Zoom because of quarantine and all the things. So I started last year learning the hand positions, the energy transfer from one person, learning about Mr. Osui. He was the one that he developed Reiki back in the 1920s. This is Eastern medicine, it's Japanese medicine, and just how we can really move energy from ourselves through other people's bodies as well. And so I started last year, and you can get these trainings, bam, 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 but that doesn't resonate with me, and it doesn't sit well with me. I'm one of those people that like to learn a little bit of stuff, and then I progress from there. I want to try it. I want to see these different modalities that I'm bringing into my teaching and how I can offer them to others. But for me, just when it feels right. So I got it last year, level 1. I've been working on my hand placements. I've been just kind of dabbling in it, getting a session here and there with people, but I've been working on myself since last year, which has been really, really great. So then my level 2 came up, and I got it last week. And it was like mind blowing. It was 8 hours of like continual work on myself. And I did my very first distance Reiki treatment, which was phenomenal. It was 30 minutes. So I learned so many things in that time. And, when you look at, so back to the level 1, when you're doing a Reiki session on somebody, first of all, there's always consent, whether it's distance or it's in person. You're never going to do energy work on somebody that isn't open to it, because that's just invasive. And so when you go with a person, you lay them down, there's different hand placements, and then we just see where the energy moves. And really, it's just, I am definitely not a healer. I'm a Reiki practitioner. I'm a yoga practitioner. But maybe some energy can be moved from me. You don't ever want to guarantee something. I think when people guarantee things, that's giving false hope to people. Oh, I can heal you. I can save you. I can make you this weight or look a certain way. No, I'm here to facilitate and help in any way that I can. And so I did the 1, I got into the 2 last week, and that's when you really delve deep before your master Reiki. And I mean, you even look at these terms, I don't even really like those terms. And that's why I don't typically like the word healer. Again, coming back to, it's just like giving someone false hope. You hope to heal someone, and you're there to aid in helping maybe move a blockage or pain or anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder. So this second level has just been almost mind blowing for me. I'm still really taking in all that I'm excited to be able to offer people so that I can take it to the next level. And if somebody, because energy is universal, right? Like we're holding energy right now for one another. We aren't together, but we are together energetically. It's just when you think about universal love, right? If you think about love in your heart, you can radiate that out to so many people all over the world in your space. That's energy.
Yep.
We all have Reiki in us. Everybody can do this. It's not like, oh, I'm, got my Reiki level 2. I'm excited for myself, but everybody has the capability to do this. So just let it in and let it go, right? Just allowing ourselves to be like a straw, letting the stuff come in and then letting it out the bottom. And so much of us, and I know this is such a deep teaching for me, and I'm really excited for, again, other people, but for myself as well, you're taking it in, but instead of the straw being plugged at the bottom, maybe you have like a spitball there.
Okay.
I
got the visual. Yeah. I got the visual.
Yeah, you let it out and then you're just letting the energy flow out. So I'm moving through people and hopefully I can give them any aid in comfort and release anything. So it's pretty cool stuff. And now I can do it distance wise. So say you called me Steve and you're like, hey, I'd like a Reiki session. Okay, great. We're going to set aside this amount of time. You're going to lay down and I'm going to tap into you. I'm going to do a few meditation techniques for myself to get myself centered and grounded. And then I'm going to move in energetically with consent from you into your body and see what's happening and what's going on. And then your experience is yours, right? And my experience is mine. I'm not willing anything on you. I'm not forcing anything on you. It's just, it's pretty cool stuff. And then at the end, I take my pendulum and I move through the chakras to see where you're holding added tension or maybe just a really severe blockage.
I'm learning about energy in the last couple of months, and you really realize the power of it when you can do Reiki on somebody and not even be connected to them. Like not on a Zoom video, not on a phone call, as long as the person that you're going to perform it on is open to it and accepts it and allows it, you can do it. You can transfer the energy. And when I heard that and people say they've done it and they've felt results, that's my aha moment that, oh, wow, this is pretty powerful stuff. But then again, for anybody that is skeptical, it's been around for centuries, been around forever,
Totally. Yeah. And I know it can be really difficult for some people to kind of comprehend or wrap their head around it. Right. And that's like, even with the new thing that I'm doing, which is like, I'm playing quartz crystal bowls on people. So this new chakra balancing quartz crystal bowl Reiki sessions that I'm doing now, that one has to be in person. You come in, you lay down, I play all 7 chakra bowls. My bowls are quartz crystal bowls. This is one right here. This one is your second chakra. It's Svadhisthana, and it's your space of sexuality. And so I play the bowls on your body. I have a little notebook next to me, and it's so cool because energetically, the bowls don't play the same for everybody. Even when I do my big restoratives, they play different every single time because the energy is playing the bowl. I'm just facilitating in playing it. Everybody in the room is where their blockages are playing those bowls, or where they're most open is playing those bowls. And so it's so cool because I go through each bowl and I see, oh my gosh, is this bowl playing? Okay, is this one not? And then I write notes, and at the end, then I do a Reiki session on them. Then I have all these notes written. And afterwards, I design these plans now, which I'm super excited about, where I develop an eating program for them so that they're eating more things that are going to help release blockages in that chakra. And then I do asanas, so which are postures in yoga, which we've talked about in my earlier podcasts. What asanas they should be doing more, their mantra, like I am enough, I am safe, I am love. These are just examples. What their mantras they should be saying every day, and just posting them everywhere. Maybe a sticky note in your mirror, a sticky note in your car, different smells they should be smelling. And if they're open to it, even a stone that would be good to balance that out. So it's pretty neat.
First time ever, 2 weekends ago, I encountered the bowls. I went to I don't know if you've ever heard of I'll make this quick because we want to talk about it, the full moon and some other stuff. But have you ever been to a cacao ceremony? Ever hear of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I did. Had no idea what I was walking into. Just a friend of mine signed up. I'm like, yeah, let's go check it out. And before they began any meditation, they started with one of the bowls, and I think it was lighter in color, maybe white. I don't know what chakra that would be. But as soon as it started playing, it was like, whoa, this is powerful stuff. Like I felt it resonating. Then we went into a meditation. Then we went into this is after drinking the chocolate from Costa Rica, which is supposed to have euphoric properties. And in the end, everybody was laying down on yoga mats and people were crying. People were shaking after doing the breathing work for like 15 minutes. And you just felt this like massive release out. It was just, that's just a piece of what's going on. You imagine, people doing Reiki and chakra balancing, and there's so much to it. There's so much to it, right?
Oh, there totally is. It's so beautiful. And that's awesome that you went to that and that was your first experience, because that's the thing, like we're holding so much internally inside ourselves, so much like trauma, childhood trauma,
Yep.
adult trauma, maybe you've had surgeries, maybe, just the list goes on, right? And we can all say, oh, I'm okay. Well, how are you doing today? I'm okay. But then when we can really be real and be like, I'm not okay today. I'm crabby today. I'm really sad today. That's really hard because that takes a lot of bravery and courage to be able to be open with your emotions with people. Because a lot of times too, you don't really think people care. And so these moments, these ceremonies, or these times of like you get a Reiki session, that's your time to start like doing the work, right? Releasing. And there's so many ways where how we can do the work. But the bowls are powerful, holistic, I believe, medicine, but it's Western versus Eastern medicine, right? So there's room for both, but it's just if we're open to it, just we can explore so much more internally in ourselves and hopefully kind of unlock maybe some of this guardedness that we have.
I love you using the word work because let's be honest, it's work. Everything's work. It's one of my favorite things to say. Everything is work, because even the breathing. And they said that when I did the cacao ceremony, that okay, we're going to do breathing work. And yes, it's work. You're going to have to, 2 breaths in, 1 breath out. But after a while, you don't even know you're doing it. And now you're feeling better. You're feeling release. So the work is definitely worth it. Full moon coming up. I was unaware. Tell me more. Let's go.
Okay. So the full moon's coming up on March 18th. And can you still hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, sorry. My headphones did a little funny thing. So yeah, March 18th, full worm moon is coming up. So this is a time where really we want to start maybe writing down 3 limiting beliefs. And if you can only think of one, just think of one, write it down on the full moon. People or circumstances to forgive or let go, because you want to start fresh after the full moon, right? Usually 7 days previous or 7 days after, we're starting to feel some stuff in our bodies, maybe some stiffness from the full moon, some extra tiredness, maybe feel extremely lethargic. Some people are like on a high and they get a lot of added energy. It just depends on the person and yourself. But these are just like tap in moments, like, okay, the full moon's coming. What does this mean? It's powerful. She's awakening again each month, right? And we're coming into the spring equinox. Ostara is coming, and that'll be on Sunday as well. So just so many things of rebirth and renew are in our field. And I just think it's so important to create intention. So you're going to write down those limiting beliefs, maybe some people that, you just kind of got to let them go a little bit, right? And that can be really hard. And then you just take that little piece of paper, you just light it up and put it in like a little bowl or something. And then just start creating some really beautiful intentions as sankalpa for yourself for the next month. Okay, so I had this month. What did it look like? Doesn't matter that it's March 18th and we still have time till the end of the month. It's just the full moon is the start again. Okay. And then really honoring ourselves in that full moon. Do you need to rest more? Do you need to move more? What's going on? Just a tap in, a check-in moment again with our internal soul, our spirit. And just with the spring equinox, it's like fertility time, right? It's spring. What happens in spring?
Well, it's funny. I didn't even realize that when you think about it, the full moon is almost like a clean slate. Every month, clean it out. And a friend of mine just texted me before and said, I don't know. It's like, I'm tired. I feel exhausted. I'm like, well, we just had the time change. And then she said, yeah, I was thinking of that, but it's Wednesday. I should be, but maybe it's the full moon. You said 7 days before, 7 days after, people feel the
Yeah.
effects of it, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm such a, like, I'm always a check-in person, right? And but when the full moon is, it's just a time to get out of your negative beliefs and step into some really positive ones. And what really edifies you in life, right? Like, what are people around you that surround you? What was that Will Smith thing? It was like, what did he say? Read the last 5 text messages from people and see what they said. If that doesn't edify you or that doesn't bring you up, pack your bags. So
yeah. And with the number 5, there's another quote that's out there. It's been around for a while, that you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So think about the 5 that you hang with the most and what they bring to your life and what they take away from your life. And maybe it's time, like defriending on Facebook, kind of push them away. And maybe the full moon is a reason to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just taking that time, and we're going to be coming in here on Sunday for anybody that wants to hit up the Zoom link. Sunday at 1 p.m. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the spring equinox, and what Ostara does, signifies. And then we're going to do 108 sun salutations in here. So it's going to be anywhere from 90 minutes to 2 hours. So if anybody wants to get on just Zoom wise, I'm not going to be talking a lot through it. I'm going to go through Sun A and Sun B at the beginning, and I'm going to click that Zoom link, and whoever all over the world just wants the energy of the room, because it's going to be a really powerful practice on Sunday. So that's going to be at 1 p.m. on March 20th, because that's the spring equinox.
And okay. And 1 p.m. is your time, which would be?
I think that'd be 2.
Are you Central?
I think it is. I think so. Yeah, it's Texas.
Okay. Canadian time. No, don't get confused. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I had to think about it for a second. Right. Like,
And real quick, we have a couple of minutes left. You're working on a women's group?
Yes. So we're working on a women's circle. We had our first one last month, and there was, I'd say, about 12 to 14 of us in here. We didn't put it public. My good friend Jo Lynn is running the women's circle. I'm just helping and facilitate at it as well. She's doing a great job doing it. She's going to be on with me next Wednesday talking about it. And we're going to really talk about women empowering one another, and how it's important for us all to have circles and groups. And that's what we've really created here at Home Yoga and Fitness, a very diverse group of masculine and feminine energy. But how I think right now, so many women are just really crying out for support from their fellow ladies, right? How can we build one another up? Because we all need that. And moving through past traumas as well, through the circle, we do intention setting as well. I put my bowls at it, and but we also are doing it Zoom. So I'm going to get that link out there for next week. So if there's any ladies anywhere in the world that just wants a safe place to share, we journal as well. And if you don't have to share, that's the thing. If you're open to it and you want to share, you have the capacity to be held and loved on, and know that you are enough and you do enough and you're worth it. So we're here to help in facilitating in that as well.
And let's not forget that the foundation for what you do is yoga. So anybody that's new or even has progressed through it, you do yoga sessions. You have Zoom links that people can check them out too, right?
Yes, yeah. On my website, which is www.homeyogaandfitness.com, there's a little place and it says Zoom links. You click on those. Every class is on there. So you can just click on the Zoom link. I'll admit you into class. My Venmo and my Zelle's on there as well, so you can make payment for those classes. And it's just a really great way to connect all over the world. And I think if we can look at some positivity from the pandemic, would we have known about this Zoom thing before?
No.
Pretty awesome.
And would we have felt comfortable in doing it? Now it's like, yeah, no problem. Press a button. We're good. Even if you're technologically just challenged, you feel comfortable doing it. It's like FaceTime on your phone. It was great talking with you. Congrats on the level 2 on Reiki. And if anybody wants to check it out, homeyogaandfitness.com. Yoga Reiki, chakra balancing you do as well, and you can do them all virtually, right?
Yes. Yep.
Super cool. Great talking to you. Glad you're feeling better, by the way. And
Thank you.
Sun as well. And it's going to be cold tonight here in the New York area, so I'm probably going to be wearing a toque. I'm just putting it out there.
Get that toque on.
Yeah, get your toque on.
Get your toque on.
Get your toque on. All right. Thanks a lot, Kendall. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.